Rita asked, which part of your soul goes into your relatives and which part of your soul dies when you die? I mean those souls who are not fully cleansed of sin and join above to the Lord Jesus Christ.
It's your nephesh. It's the soul that's in the marrow of your bones. That you share that soul. We don't have a single soul. A soul is a very great spiritual entity. The whole family shares a soul. An extended family can be sharing, one soul. And that's the soul that when you die, when your body dies, okay. Actually, Brother, I see something here that's a question that I don't know the answer to. That came up. I said that for a long time, that when your body dies, your soul just flows into the relatives that have the same soul. But if that is true, how can it be true that your soul dies? And I think that's what Rita's question is. So this seems to be the answer, as I understand it now. Let's assume that a whole family has one soul. They share a soul. Okay? And the one person dies. The aspect of the soul, if you think of a soul as water that has flowed into several different vessels, think of the soul, each family member is a vessel. And now this is spiritual. How could the water in this vessel be attached to the water in another vessel when they're separated by the vessel? But that's a spiritual thing. It's the same soul in all of the vessels. So when you physically die, if your soul dies a second time, it's this aspect of this soul that dies. So that I've just received a correction, something that I actually even preached recently, that when you die, your soul flows into your relatives. That's how I was explaining how we can all have the same soul, or how the soul goes on. But I had it backwards. The soul, when you're alive, when you have a child, your soul is imparted to that child. So when you die, the child already has your soul. There's two vessels here with the same soul, two vessels with the same soul. So when you die, this aspect of the soul dies, but your child already has the soul. And all the other members of your family already have their share of this soul. But the part that's in your vessel, if it's not saved, if it's not joined to Christ, who's joined to the Shekinah, it dies with your body.
Does a child have the souls of both parents?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Doten. Yes, the child is a new creature. A new soul is born. New souls are born. Souls die and souls are born, okay? Just like when Christ, the seed of Christ, is added to your soul, the new creature that's born, there's a new creature that's born. Actually, Christ, I haven't really emphasized this difference, but I think I have mentioned it. Actually, Christ is that which is born from the seed of Jesus and the reproductive ability of the soul. Our soul has a reproductive ability. It has an ability to produce good or evil, whatever it's seeded with. So the seed of the Lord Jesus Christ, it joins with our soul and produces a new creature called Christ. And it's this new creature that's born of our soul and a seed that becomes an eligible vessel for the Shekinah to join with and for the Lord Jesus Christ to possess. So when a man and a woman produce a child, okay, the gene pool there's a new gene pool, a new combination of genes that are produced in the child, and a new soul that is more than a combination, but it's a soul that is actually born of the souls of the father and the mother. And I actually have I talk about that in great depth, Doten, if you're interested in getting the book. I think the book is about marriage, and I go into this whole concept that the child of the marriage is a hybrid soul. It's a new creature that's born. So this is behind the. And I actually think, maybe I talk about it in adultery also, but I talk about it in the book about marriage. That a new soul is born, and if two people separate, if they get divorced, it's not really a divorce. It's maybe a physical separation, but it's not a divorce because their souls are joined and exist in this child or the children of the marriage. And that is the spiritual reality behind the prohibition against divorce. There is no divorce unless your children die. God forbid your children should die. Okay, your souls are permanently joined in your children. So there really isn't. So to marry someone else, and we know that a man and his wife are one soul, to form that soul tie which arises out of intimacy with another person is spiritual adultery, because your marriage still exists in the hybrid soul of your children.